So this week's Torah portion is Masei, which is the last Torah portion in the book of Numbers. It's basically the end of the Torah narrative. This Deuteronomy is one long speech by Moshe to the Jews. So folks, you can ask me any question now because Rabs is gone. So I'm a religious Zionist. I believe that that support for the nation state of Israel is an essential part of Judaism, along with support for the people Israel, so Jews around the world, and reverence for the land of Israel. The land has holiness, and so I'm a religious Zionist, but the rabbi definitely is not. So I would say that almost all modern Orthodox Jews are religious Zionists, and in Israel they don't really call themselves modern Orthodox, they call themselves religious Zionists. So I think that about 10% of Israel, maybe 15 or 20 are religious Zionists, and about another 15% or so are traditional Orthodox Jews who are not Zionists, often called Haredim, and then about 50 to 60% of the country is secular, though some of them may have some forms of traditional observance. Anyway, this week's Torah portion in the society of ancient Israel took accidental killing much more seriously than we do. The Torah consistently narrows the range for accidents, and so often what we say it was an accident, we're really saying I was just careless. So the Torah doesn't let you get away so easily with saying, oh, it was an accident. Oh, she told me that she wanted to bring the redemption, and I went over there because I wanted to bring the redemption, and oh, one thing led to another, and oh, it was an accident. The Torah's kind of starts setting limits and diminishing the things that we can just call accidents, and this applies to accidental killing. Like, you could have been more careful. Therefore, to atone for this killing, well, you can go to a city of refuge, and you have to stay there, because if you leave, the blood avenger for the goel, for the person who you accidentally killed, can take your life. Now, the involuntary killer must wait for the involuntary death of the high priest, and the death of the high priest, his death, atones for the accidental killing.
Okay.
And
I want to tell you something.
Yeah.
My sister liked the show.
Oh, cool.
Right, she never watched it before. She never seen it before, right?
Yeah.
Her sons and her, have seen it.
Right.
Right, but she never watched it, and
Right.
she said it was great.
Okay.
And she says, you're delightful. Because I asked her, I said, did anything that Levi said, offend you in any way? And she went,
Right.
are you kidding me? And she was like, no, he's delightful. He thinks, he's entertaining. And I said, well, what? I said, overall, why do you like the show? I was trying to figure out why she liked it, right? And she said, it's because it's informative, but in a fun way.
I dig that.
Yeah? And
Yeah,
she's
I like that. Yeah, she's a pretty religious woman.
Yeah, and okay, yeah. And
I mean, just because she wears a miniskirt doesn't
she
mean
not
she's not
wear a mini skirt. She was wearing practically a skirt.
First time I've seen someone wearing a shadel, covering her hair and a miniskirt.
She did not wear a mini skirt
that often.
She had a floor sweeper. She had a full-on long skirt. So she likes the show, right? And I actually said that because there was an argument in my family this morning, and I took the position that she would like it and she would not be offended. And I was right because I know her.
And several members of your family said that she'd be offended.
One member who's listening tomorrow morning, when he's listening to this, a certain member of my family said, her son said, "Oh, she's not going to like that." Wait till she sees it. No, she's fine with it. She likes it, right? She's now a fan of the show. Watch her. She's going to start giving money to us every week. All right.
Only the manslayer may be killed, no member of his family in retribution. Now, often in much of the world today, if someone accidentally kills someone, then the manslayer's family may get killed.
Really?
Yeah, in Iraq, this often happens. Let's say your son is a terrorist, then your life is at risk. people will blame you, and they'll take it out on you, and they'll kill you, they'll kill your kids, they'll kill, you know, your siblings.
Really?
Just because if you have one kid who's a bad apple, goes off and joins Al Qaeda, then the community may just target you and wipe you out in retribution.
Really?
So this is true much of the world, but it's not to be the way in the Jewish society. We don't, and that's generally true today. Like when, like, you know, if a Jew, God forbid, you know, kills someone, the community doesn't like, oh, we're going to put, you know, your mother to death in retribution. That's not the way we roll.
No, but I will say this. I will say this. If somebody in the family does something that the community doesn't like,
yeah, the whole family will pay a price.
they'll pay a price because, like, oh, they're not gonna make a shidduch for so and so because their father, you know, got arrested for smuggling drugs or something.
Right, like your nephews, they had a hard time getting married because of this Torah talk show we're doing. It's like their potential wives said, you know, Chas v'shalom, we can't marry. You know, the nephew of this crazy rabbi who does these blasphemous Torah talks with that.
It's really hurt them both.
It's like
hurt both of them.
Yeah, it's like they have to go to counseling.
Yeah, it's been a hard because I've brought great shame to family.
Great shame.
I bring great shame to family. Okay, so what else do we got tonight, Levi? It's a fast show. We didn't get any of your long. Oh, so garden fun. So, what?
Oh my God, Alan! I can't believe you asked me this question. Alan, I'm shocked. Levi, in your years in the business, did you come across religious women
from
in
porn
upskirt videos? No. And she says the lighting and angle would be difficult, but like I can't even conceive of that, and I'm like shocked and amazed, Garden Fun, that you'd even ask me, but I'm... Okay,
now I'm going to... Ellen asked me, Rabs, is your sister firm? And the answer is yes. Does she cover her hair? Yes. Maybe you saw that. She uses a tichel. What do you call that? A scarf?
Yeah.
And with a wig? No, never. She doesn't own a wig. Because we went off on wigs before.
Right,
how much I hate wigs. Even nicer than her real hair. No, she doesn't use wigs. She uses a tichel, and she had a long skirt. You saw it.
So, Ellen, do you have anything else for us? And way to go for writing with correct grammar, punctuation, and you know, keeping things on a very elevated level, because that's the way. So, was it a plain tickle or an attractive one?
What did you're the person sitting here, you know? What did you think when you saw her?
I just thought, what a great neshama this woman has, and maybe she can set me up and get me married. I wasn't like, oh, is that a plain tickle or is that an attractive one? Oh, let me like scope out Rabs' married sister and check out the tickle like really closely and evaluate, oh, how attractive is her tickle? Like, I don't look at women like that, particularly not married women who are family members of my Rabbi Rabs.
Okay, but what color was her tickle? Because I don't even remember.
I wouldn't know.
I think it was an earth tone, wasn't it? It was like earth tone?
I don't look at women in that way. The Torah says, don't look at women in that way.
I'm going to say it was a plain tickle. Oh, it wasn't like a really, like, if attractive one is like the really shiny ones, like it's made out of silk, and it's like flamboyant, and it's got like bright colors. I'm going to say it wasn't one of those. It was more earth tone. Didn't notice it.
You know what I get a kick out of? Sometimes you'll go to like a modern Orthodox shul, and there'll be somewhat rebellious, you know, women in the shul, and they'll wear skirts to shul that are shorter than their knees. And, you know, that's fine, but what kills me is what's usually true, like, is that they have bad legs. Like, women, if you have bad legs, don't wear short skirts. And, like, it's really ridiculous to wear short skirts to your Orthodox shul, like, particularly, like, you know, let's say your husband's an upstanding member of the community, he, like, works in the Jewish community, and you're showing up to your Orthodox shul, you know, with skirts above your knees, and you got fat legs, you've got, like, all this cellulite on your thighs, and it's all, like, spilling out. It's like, ladies, like, even if you're not Jewish, don't wear short skirts if you don't